Tesla needs to close the gap with us, says BMW on new cylindrical battery cells, and BMW believes its new batteries for its electric vehicles can cut costs in half, can cut costs by 50%. Welcome back, everyone. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com with this breaking new development about BMW claiming its new cylindrical batteries for electric vehicles to be better than Tesla's and saying it can cut costs in half by 50%. And what that means, we don't really know yet. But here's what we know. BMW says its new Generation 6 battery cells for its electric vehicles are a step above Tesla's. BMW means Tesla's 4680 batteries, probably. The new battery cells are claimed to boost range by 30% and cut production-related carbon emissions by 60%. If this becomes true, does this mean Teslas are becoming outdated? Well, there is a comment like that. I'm about to present that to you. So listen to what BMW's production boss says. Tesla needs to close the gap with us. In fact, we don't see a gap to Tesla. This is basically saying that Tesla has to close the gap with us, not us with Tesla, who is regarded as the leader in electric vehicle production. This is how BMW Group's production boss Milan Nedeljkovic replied to a question from Automotive News Europe about how the German company would close the gap with rivals, including what is possibly the most talked about name in the electric vehicle industry, Tesla. Now remember that name, BMW's production boss Milan Nedeljkovic, because I'm going to quote him more, what he said to Automotive News. But before I go any further, please note this for reference. Tesla's batteries are already in production. Tesla's 4680 newest batteries are already in production. The cells BMW is talking about are currently nothing more than a working concept, but with big claim. Talk means nothing really until they are being mass produced and used in a production for sale. From Tesla producing the Model 3 and ramping up the production, producing the Model Y and ramping up the production, we know that it's a big, difficult task to start mass production and ramp that up. But on the other hand, I saw a comment by Tesla enthusiast who says Elon Musk is busy trolling on X, Teslas are becoming outdated. Well, I don't necessarily agree with this comment, but I'm just bringing that if the competition is starting to bring in new batteries with new research, this is going to be serious competition to Tesla. Well, I'm not saying X, former Twitter, is not a priority for Tesla. Anyway, remember the name Nedeljkovic is BMW's production boss. So Nedeljkovic's statement shows just how confident the German automaker BMW is in its new cylindrical type battery cells, the first samples of which started rolling off the production line at the company's cell manufacturing complex that's located about 12 miles east of Munich, Germany. For a bit of more context, the entire BMW Group, which includes BMW and Mini branded models, sold fewer than 100,000 electric vehicles in the third quarter, while Tesla delivered 435,000 battery-powered cars in the same period. However, there is a silver lining in the growth that each of these companies saw in the last 3 months, with BMW Group selling nearly 80% more electric vehicles compared to the same period last year, while Tesla increased its global deliveries by 27%. Increasing your global deliveries by 27% is a very healthy increase, but BMW did it by 80%. Well, on one hand, BMW is starting from a lower point than Tesla, but the market is being filled with lots of electric vehicles, so it's a pretty challenge to sell a lot of electric vehicles. Compared to the previous generation of prismatic lithium-ion battery cells, BMW Generation 6 cylindrical cells for its electric vehicles have the potential to cut manufacturing costs in half, all while offering up to 30% more range on a similarly sized pack thanks to a higher energy density, resulting in roughly 500 miles of travel on a full charge. DC fast charging will also be possible at 270 kilowatt. You know what this means? That means, keep this in mind. Electric vehicle batteries are about the 50% of the cost of electric, 40 to 50% of the cost of electric vehicles. If BMW can cut 50% the battery cost, that means it can cut the overall vehicle prices by 25%. It may have about 25% margin, and thanks to the energy density, increase the range by 30% and have a very competitive electric BMW with 500 miles of range, DC fast charging, with 25% less expensive than today's average BMW electric vehicle cost. The German automaker's round cells have a 46mm diameter and will come in two height variants of 95mm and 120mm, making them a bit bigger than Tesla's own 4680 type cells that are 46mm in diameter and 80mm tall. That's why they're called 4680. What we have here is a battery design that suits our products and our idea of how driving performance is fulfilled in our cars, Nedeljkovic said during a media event held last week at the automaker's cell manufacturing complex. BMW must be really happy with this new battery. That's why they're having an automaker media event for this at automaker's battery manufacturing complex. With all this being said, however, BMW's new cells aren't quite ready for prime time yet. Like I said above, for now, sample units are being manufactured at the company's own facility, with delivery intent cells slated to be made at up to 6 battery gigafactories around the world by BMW suppliers, CATL and EV Energy starting in 2025. Well, 2025 is around the corner, but imagine what Tesla will have by 2025. Tesla hasn't announced any new battery plans by 2025, but we may hear about that in the next couple of months. That's when, in 2025, the first series production EVs based on the Neue Klasse architecture are set to debut. This way, BMW recalls it will avoid the high volatility of large-scale battery cell production. Instead, it wants to focus on perfecting the cells in its in-house facilities and then give the recipe and manufacturing process to its suppliers, who will start building cells in Europe, China, and North America. So, here's what they also said, friends. If you want to cook something really nice, you need a good recipe, and the recipe determines the taste, said Nedeljkovic. We developed the recipe, namely the chemistry and physics of a cell. We change the content and test how each single cell ingredient will influence performance. Besides the classic lithium-ion format, BMW is already working on other chemistries for the Gen 6 cells, which has the potential to lower costs even further. Let me know your thoughts, friends. This is Armen Haraya from TorqueNews.com. I'll look forward to your comments about BMW's batteries and whether Teslas are slowly becoming outdated if BMW is coming up with these new batteries. And I'll see you soon in our next report. God bless you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.